Namah Shivaya, beloveds, and welcome to Tuesday evening Experience Hatha Yoga. Ancient wisdom for modern times, ancient wisdom for crazy times, and this is why we practice. This is why we have yoga in our lives, so that when the winds of life blow, we have the ability to find a clear-seeing, calm abiding. And here we are, not only in some very challenging times globally, but then locally, there's a full moon right above your house. So she's waxing herself to full term, and she will birth herself into being momentarily. She's in her full self-expression, which may be intensifying whatever experience you're having in life. So as my very dear musician friend Laura Ocean tells us, when you feel like checking out, lean in. Okay, beloveds, let's lean into our practice, lean into the eternal essence of our being, which is unshakable, lean into love, lean into those who support us, lean in to Sangha. And with that being said, we sit tall in the saddle, fluff our feathers, and feel the earth beneath us. And with the eyes closed, we begin to become the proprietor of our senses, drawing the eyes inward for a deep inner looking, drawing the ears inward for an inner listening, drawing the sense of touch to the interior as we move in to a felt sense of our being. How does it feel to be you, right here, right now, beyond story, beyond circumstance, beyond the reach of the intellect, pure sensation? How are you feeling? How do you want to feel? And if the two are not aligned, making a mighty sankalpa, a mighty prayer, a mighty offering, that our practice helps to bridge that gap. And as we turn self to self, perhaps the two palms press, and the head bows to all that's so, because maybe, just maybe, all life is workable. As we bow to whatever's so in our physical bodies, our mental bodies, our emotional bodies, we bow to whatever's so out on the field of life. Life is innocent. Life is just life. So we bow to it all, and perhaps set a little intention for our practice. Maybe offer up a mighty blessing that these sweet, nurturing, nourishing moonbeams bring a little bit of cooling energy into any hot spots in our lives and in our relations. May the light of the moon be our medicine. And we offer our sacred intentions up and out in all directions on the wind of Om. Exhaling, may it be so. Reach your arms long and low and a little bit behind you. Reach out through your fingertips, coasting off your fingertips to lift your sternum and draw your chin deep into the notch of the throat. And what I invite you to cultivate here is a nice lifting of the hind skull up away from the spine. Just creating a little space between the base of the skull and the base of your neck. And opening up what is known in Chinese medicine perhaps as the wind palace point. That place in the area where the heels of the skull meet at the midline. And just maybe start to feel the heels of the skull flaring open a little bit. As if you were spreading open the curtains at the hind skull. Making way for that lunar energy of the moon to arrive into the lunar brain. And then keeping the awareness on the back of the neck, the base of the skull, and the space from ear to ear, gently begin nodding no. Soft tongue, soft jaw, just feeling this wherever it shows up as we loosen the grip. And then steady at center. Take a clearing breath. Lean into your exhale. And then on the inhalation, right ear to right shoulder. Pause there for a moment just to release the weight of the skull. Let the head hang freely off the vine of your neck. And then gently take your sideways yes. Nodding across the horizon. And feeling this from your left shoulder to your left ear. And the side panel of the neck. Just softening, untying knots. And then chin to chest, face cast downward. Pause at center for your clearing breath. Exaggerate that exhalation a little bit. And then roll over second side. Left ear to left shoulder. Just take a moment to release the weight of the skull. Feel the neck starting to loosen the grip. And then when you have permission to go in a little more deeply, you start your sideways yes. Just sliding and gliding across the horizon. Or in any way that your neck likes to explore untying the knots. Next time, chin to chest, face cast downward. Pause at center, deep breath in. Deeper breath out. Yeah. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest, face cast downward. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest, face cast downward. And continue a few more times, just finding some fluidity, some ease of movement. And the next time chin is to the chest, pause there. And just notice, feel a softening. Move prana, circulate it throughout your cervical spine, jaw, throat. And then slowly begin to roll vertebra by vertebra, rolling up until the chin comes parallel to the floor. Pause there for a moment. Take your hands onto your breastplate, press in and pull down, and then begin the journey skyward with your chin. Maybe some serpentine movements, whatever feels good, as you open up the space from jawline to collarbones. Opening up this avenue of expression, the throat chakra. Moving in any way that feels good. And then when you find the end of the range of comfort, pause the movements and big jaw circles a few times in each direction. Release the mandible. And then a last little bit of arcing a rainbow in the sky up above you. Yeah, like that, people. And then steady that movement and slowly bring your chin parallel to the floor. Pause there with the chin parallel to the floor. Take a clearing breath. And then taking all 10 fingertips back behind an ear, begin to sweep the lymph from behind your ear towards your collarbones. A little bit of housekeeping. For many people right now, the pollen is high, there's a lot of mischief, and the lymph is working hard. So we want to keep the lymph system clear. Now come across the throat, clearing the throat really good as you move over to second side. And then be a good housekeeper as you allow your fingertips a moment to feel what's going on. Where am I needed? Are there any BBs? Any lumps? Any mischief? And just sweep that nonsense down towards the thoracic duct. That's exactly how it sounds when we clear the throat chakra. All right? We hack up the energetic hairballs. And then get a hand behind each throat or each ear and sweep from the neck to the throat. Sweep it down towards where the collarbones meet. And then cup your palms, percussion palms, and rap, tap, tap, tap. Tap your chest, collarbones, up underneath the armpits or the arm groins. All throughout the chest, the belly, down into the groin of the legs. Rap, tap, tap. And just keep housekeeping. Tapping feels good. Enjoy it. And then a soft, sweet fist as you rap, tap, tap your thymus thump, bringing those T cells forward. Steady the thump. Sweep out a breath. And then notice how it feels to be you. And for a lot of people right now, we're in spring season, which can bring a whirly, swirling energy, much less what's going on with this global pandemic. There's perhaps a lot of anxiety available on the surface for many people. That's right there. And so the nervous system might be a little bit agitated, and that can be showing up in the physical body in many different ways. And let's just see if we can bring a little bit of equanimity to the body, to the mind, to the heart, by bringing some equanimity to the breath, moving our way into a little bit of Dirga Swasam. So just sitting comfortably, taking a moment to feel the softening of the belly. And just really loosen the grip in your gut. And get as soft as you can. Just let your belly hang. The opposite of Uddiyana Bandha. So just like let it hang. Loosen it. Go slack in the gut. And then soften in the chest. Soften in the breastplate. Soften in the breast tissue, the collarbones, the shoulders, the shoulder blades. Soften on up into the throat. We've done a little bit of loosening of the grip through our neck stretches. See if you can feel the effects. So, stress, anxiety, they tend to cling and settle into the soft tissues first, which translates into a real gripping in the throat and the belly. So the psoas and the scalenes tend to mirror one another. So get as soft as you can in the throat and the belly. And then with your eyes turned inward and really having a felt sense of yourself, begin to just fill up your belly with prana. Inhaling, the belly expands. Exhaling, the belly moves towards the spine. Little bit of just belly breathing. And if you need to, hands on the belly to feel this. And imagine that we're using the movement of our breath, the movement of prana, to wash the belly clean, to wash the gut clean, to let go of any past worry, concern, any anxiousness, and to trace the residue thereof. And just a few more rounds of big belly breathing. Using Ujjayi breath so it's somewhat audible to keep your attention. And with this exhalation, empty, 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 empty every bit of the past. And as you inhale, fill the belly and come halfway up the chest. Exhale from mid-ribs down to the floor of the pelvis. And we just come into our second of the three-part breath. So continuing to fill the belly and the low chest. Emptying from around the nipple area to the navel. And just notice if there's any resistance, if there's any choppiness, that's okay. We're getting a gentle hold on the reins of the breath to smooth out the nervous system. So it's okay if it's not already smooth, that's why we're here, beloveds. And if it is, bravo. Way to lean into your practice. And then once you've got a feel for the movement of prana from bottom to top, on your next inhalation, fill from the belly, the low chest to the upper chest. Take it all the way up into your collarbones without introducing stress or tension. Then exhale from your collarbones, down your ribs to your navel. And just a few more rounds of Dirga Swasam, your three-part breathing. Bringing it front, back, side to side, so it's a full-bodied, well-rounded breath. Reaching it into your cracks and your crevices, and really leaning into the exhalations, as I say, to clear out the residue of the past. Last few rounds of really giving your full awareness to how it feels to breathe consciously, wholeheartedly, mindfully. And to breathe as our medicine, to breathe in a way that cultivates this clear-seeing, calm abiding. Coming into union with the breath and the body's movement in response to breathing. This is yoga. Last round, filling the belly, the low chest, the upper chest, a full inhalation all the way up into the arm domes. A moment of retention at the top, giving thanks for the life within you, and then slowly emptying from top to bottom. Exhale, 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 empty, empty. Follow the exhalation all the way to the shore, let it dissolve. Release the breath to its own intelligence. Notice how you feel. And I invite you to bring Dirga Swasam to your entire practice, to your asana practice, as we begin organizing in the direction of Adho Mukha Shavasana. Downward dog, beloveds. Coming into our downward dog, we greet one of our very best friends. So meet and greet, tinker around, pedal in place, do what your body needs you to do. Find some buoyancy in the armpits. Find some buoyancy in the sitting bones. And then really bring in your three-part breathing. And bring in Dirga Swasam. And as you bring in Dirga Swasam, you feel the breath in the sacrum, in the lower ribs, all the way up into the back door of the heart and maybe the back of the neck. So you feel that same organization from the bottom to the top in this different orientation to space. And perhaps in down dog you can feel it even more in your back body than when we're seated and feel it in our front body. And last couple of breaths here. Just really bringing Dirga Swasam to down dog. And then slowly begin walking your feet to your hands. And feel your way into Uttanasana. Woo your way in there, romance your way in there. Work with your rough draft. Let whatever you've got be plenty. And just let the feeling of your body finding the shape guide you. Like what would feel good? What would feel liberating? Keep it interesting. Let whatever you're doing perpetually keep your attention as you once again bring your 3-part breathing to Uttanasana. So a lot of cooling forward bends in this heated time of life to bring about balance. Just letting your head hang from your shoulders, releasing your skull from your spine. Last little bit of finding whatever hand-arm position keeps this interesting to your body, continues to have your practice be what love feels like. And then deep breath in, deeper breath out. And arms hang empty out of your shoulders. Press through the 4 corners of your feet to activate your arches. And slowly begin rolling up bone by bone. Stay very close to you. Roll up as if inside your own shirt. Shoulders roll up, back and down. Head is the last to rise. And perhaps even with our eyes closed, we begin to feel our way into our plumb line. The ears over the shoulders over our hips. We adjust our body, we move as we need to feel our way onto the mountaintop. Feeling our way into Tadasana. Feeling that Samastiti, even standing pose. Cultivating equanimity within us. And then on an inhalation, the 2 palms press. On an exhalation, the head bows. And we just take a moment to remember our Sankalpa. Why are you here? Beyond effort and strife, beyond the reach of the ego, may we engage in the practice of asana as a method of housekeeping, a method of coming a little bit closer to the truth within and clearing away the stains of old habits. Deep breath in. Exhale, releasing the arms by the side, eyes on the horizon, chin parallel to the floor. On the inhalation, open your palms towards the wall in front of you. Open up the palms of the hands. Exhale, reach out through the fingertips, as if your arms were moonbeams coming from the moon in the center of your chest. As if your fingertips were moonbeams coming from the full moon in the center of your palms. Really feel the extension, feel your radiance as we begin our moon salutations. And on your next inhalation, the palms go skyward as we begin to lift that full moon up. She's full term, she's heavy, lifting her up as if with a little bit of resistance. And on the exhalation, the fingertips touch as if we are embodying the moon. Let those elbows move back behind you a little bit and feel the shape of the moon, some semblance of the shape of the moon. And then let there be a little bit of fluidity. Let your body move in whatever way it wants to in the trunk. And just feel this moving ball of nectar, that sweet full moon there in your arms. And let this feel good. And feel the way back to center. Pause at center with an exhalation to drop those shoulders down. Inhale, the arms come into full extension. Exhale, the fingers interlace, except index and thumb side by side as you once again drop those shoulders down. Pull your belly button in, pull your front ribs to the back. Inhale, come out through the top. Posting off of the earth, reaching for the sky, just feeling that union of opposites that you are. Several breaths here, exhaling into the earth, sending your roots deep. Inhale, reaching your branches up throughout the sky above you. And then one last inhalation, lift up tall, 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 tall. Exhale as you blossom out far and wide, sending your moonbeams out, 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 out. And then on the inhalation, knees bend. Exhale as you step left and cast your arms wide, reaching wide into star pose. Let your heels kick wide and your big toes come in. Palms face down to push your shoulders down initially. And just feel reaching out through the heels, reaching out through the fingertips as a way of reaching beyond previous limitations. Take the upper buttocks tissue down to stay out of your low back. One last inhalation into star pose. Claim the star within you. Exhalation, hands to the waist, fingers in front, thumbs in back. Post off of your heels. Inhale, look up to the moon. Come into full extension. Exhale, hinge from where the legs meet the body as you take a bow to the moon. Hands come to the earth. Feel for the floor beneath you. And take a few breaths here in Padottanasana. Just feeling your way into this forward fold. Always bringing that spirit of surrender into our forward folds. Bowing to the moon, surrendering to her influence. Last couple of breaths of just hooking your sitting bones in the sky and folding from where the legs meet the body as if you were hanging off the monkey bars. And then on an inhalation, palms up under your shoulders, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, stay here and just feel for a moment. Are your headquarters in line with your hindquarters? And if you find that your hips and the back body are a little bit higher than the shoulders and the head, I'm just going to invite you to bring blocks up underneath you on the hands so that you can get your head in line with the rest of the spine. And then notice, do you feel a valley in the low back? And if so, pull your belly button towards the ceiling. Yeah, beautiful. Well done. And then the back of the neck is long. So there's, once again, your gaze is gently down towards the floor. So there's this opening of the lunar skull, right? And then from this beautiful foundation, slide your left hand underneath your face. Use your block if you need to stay nice and lengthened. And then inhale, right arm out like a wing. Exhale, revolve the pose skyward into the right. And take your time bringing your gaze into it. You may find that looking down at your left hand is best for your neck. Take your armpits back towards your waist, shoulders away from the ears. And fine, is it best to look down? Is it best to look at the side wall? Or do you have permission to look at your skyward thumb? And then see if you can access your right collarbone from your thumb, from your right thumb. Really see if you can feel your way into something juicy for your body. And then just a few breaths here, waving to the moon. Reach wide. Spread the wings of your heart. One last inhalation. Tickle the moon with your fingertips. Exhale as you lengthen to lower. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Never collapsing. Lengthening, lowering. Coming back onto the support beneath you if needed. Pausing here at center for a clearing breath. And then slide your right hand beneath your face. Left arm out like a wing. Exhale to revolve. Beautiful. And as you revolve into this, once again, check in with the orientation of your gaze that you have absolute expression to explore. Armpits are moving back towards the waist. Shoulder blades are anchoring to the spine. Wide extension, arm to arm. Absolutely beautiful. Just feel your way into some approximation for your body. Maybe lowering your left hip a little bit as you open your left arm to feel that nice wringing out of the heart space. Open up the breath. Dirga Swasam to the best of your ability here. Finding the quality of the breath. On an inhalation, lift up the moon, reach up. Exhale, lengthen as you lower. As that left hand comes down, inhale, lift and lengthen, a little half lift and lengthen. Exhale, a deep bow to the moon. Deep, deep, deep bow. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, hands to the waist. Press into your heels. Inhale, coming up from the strength of your bones. Exhale, pause here. Find a drishti. Find solid ground out in front of you. And on an inhalation, swivel on the heel of the right foot to square the toes back off at the head of the mat. And on an exhalation, left foot comes forward to meet the right. Pause at the top for a clearing breath. Back into Tadasana, back onto your mountain pose. Standing tall, arms alongside you, well rooted to the earth. On the inhalation, open the palms to the wall in front of you. On the exhalation, reach out through your fingertips. On the inhalation, lift up the pregnant moon. On the exhalation, embody it there in your arms. On the inhalation, full extension. On the exhalation, fingers interlace, shoulders down deep in the girdle. Inhale, lift the rib basket. Exhale, crescent moon to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, crescent moon to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. One last time. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Lift up, reach up. Exhale as you spread your blue knees out far and wide. Inhale, knees bend as we scoop up our stars. Exhale, step left, spread them far and wide. A breath or two in star pose. Shoulders down, heart high. Inhale, out through the fingers, out through the heels. Exhale, hands to the waist, fingers in front, thumbs in back. Inhale, post off of your heels as you look up, lift up, reach up, unzip from your chin to your sternum. Exhale, deep fold, taking a bow to the moon. Hands come down to the earth. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, right hand beneath the face. Lifting and lengthening halfway with the right hand beneath your face. Arm out like a wing. Left arm out. Inhale. Exhale, revolve. So taking however many extra breaths you need throughout the practice, just ideally moving into your twist on an exhale. A breath or two here into your exhale, really leaning in to clear out. And next exhalation, that left arm lengthens and lowers. Left hand replaces right. Inhale, right arm out like a wing, still lifting and lengthening halfway. Exhale, revolve the pose skyward into the right. A few rounds of Dirga Swasam, leaning into the exhale. On your next exhalation, lengthen, lower. When the fingertips touch the earth, inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale into a deep bow, forward fold. Inhale, come up a half lift. Exhale, hands to the waist. Feel the strength beneath you as you post off of the earth. Inhale, coming up, nice flat back. Exhale, pause here. Take a round of Dirga Swasam to feel well grounded. On an inhalation, right toes swivel with the head of the mat. Exhale, left foot steps out. And a clearing breath. Inhale, palms towards the wall in front of you. Exhale, fingertips reach out and beyond you towards the floor. Inhale, lifting up a full moon. Exhale, fingertips touch, embodying the moon in the arms. Inhale, full extension. Exhale, shoulders down. Inhale, lift the rib basket, crescent moon to the right. Exhale. Inhale, get a little bit taller. Exhale to the side. Stay here for a breath. Exhale, nice and deep. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, blossom out, moonbeams. Knees bend, scoop up your stars. And exhale, step left. Inhale into your star pose. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, unzip the front line of your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to the earth. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, left hand beneath the face. Inhale, right arm out like a wing. Exhale, revolve the pose skyward into the right. Stay here for an inhale. Exhale to lengthen and lower. Right hand replaces left. Inhale, left arm out. Exhale, revolve skyward into the left. Stay here for an inhale. Exhale, lengthen and lower. Inhale your half lift. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Exhale your deep fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, coming up, nice flat back. Exhale, pause. Stay here, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right foot swivels to the center. Exhale, left foot steps forward. Deep breath in. Deeper breath out. Inhale as the arms circle up into full extension. Look up, lift up, reach up. Exhale as you swan dive out and over. And inhale a little half lift. Exhale back to your plank. Feel your way into your length and your strength. Taking your armpits back towards your waist, wrapping the outer shoulder back towards your hips. Feel how long and strong you are, people. Tap your length and your strength. You've got it. It's all on the inside. Last couple of breaths here. Claim your resources. Exhale into your dog. A couple breaths in your dog as a place of rest. You're just finding Dirga Swasam in your down dog. Continuously smoothing out your nervous system. And then from here, on an exhalation, left heel swivels into the center strike of the mat. On the inhalation, right foot comes forward. Exhale, straighten your right leg and begin preparing yourself for pyramid pose. So you will find that if you have supreme balance, bravo, good on ya, the front heel will intersect the back arch. If you are feeling in a little bit challenging times right now as the wind of life blows, the front heel intersects the back heel. And if you really need to set yourself up for success, the right foot comes over a little bit and absolutely finds its own lane to give you more stability, right? So you find your way into the foundation that works for you. And then as you feel your way into the foundation beneath your feet, press into the outside strike of your left heel and the ball mound of your right foot as you take your right hip back. Pull your right hip back and in. So the right hip is moving towards the arch of the left foot. And the arch of the left foot is fully activated by pressing through the outside strike of your left heel. So you can even look back and see the inner left ankle is lifting, activating the arch of the foot to activate the energy all the way through the inseam of the leg up into the floor of the pelvis, starting to bring the earth energy up into the sacrum, up to the Sushumna. And then as we press into the ball mound of the right foot, we feel that posting off, pushing into the earth to bring that right hip back and really tapping into the strength of the right foot and bringing that energy into the sacrum. And then from the legs into the sacrum, on an inhalation, find your up dog. And just feel your way into a little bit of up dog. Like sternum reaching forward. Let this be delicious. Continuously pulling this right hip back. And then once you've cultivated the length of your legs as they come into the length of your spine, let an exhalation bring you into a bow out over that right leg into your forward fold. So into your pyramid pose. If you do not have the good fortune of, like my dear friend Masati here with these nice long arms, you use a block to bring the floor closer to you. Okay? And find your way into your points of contact. Maybe letting your hands slide back in a way that takes your shoulders back, and use that connection with the earth through your hands to take your shoulders away from the ears. Using that connection to the earth through your feet to find some type of squared off with your hips. Bringing them a little bit into symmetry as best as your body will allow. And then lastly, just feel that right hip gently floating. There's a little bit of flotation to the right hip. You don't want to jam the hip on the femur head. All right, forehead towards the shin. Last couple of breaths here. Taking a deep bow to our ability to begin flirting with balance while peeling open whatever stickiness there may be in the root system of our legs. Yeah? And then from here, you are going to start feeling your way into a little bend in your right knee as you shift forward and pick up your left leg and just bring your left leg parallel to the floor. Yeah. She's making this look easy. I know it's not. And then initially, we're all just flirting with balance, right? She's a super slippery gal. Initially, point through your left toes to just find that line of energy. The blocks are under your shoulders, or your fingertips are on claws under your shoulders. Back of the neck is long. And you're just lengthening out through the inside strike of that left foot to feel your way into the inside strike of that left hip, into the left hip bone, to find your way maybe into the psoas, the muscles that hug the midline of your spine, slightly to the left. Last little bit of feeling our way into the front line. And then flexing out through the left heel, drawing the toes towards the nose, and really getting into the back line. And feel that left leg is nice and parallel to the floor to the best of your ability, and then push like mad through your heel. Push like mad through your heel to feel the length of the back line. And then I'm going to invite those of you who feel really well balanced to bring your left hand onto your left hip. Fingers in front, thumbs in back. If you feel balanced. Now, we're flirting, so if you don't feel balanced, you don't do this, and that's all there is to it. And then once you feel that, stack your left hip on top of your right. So you're opening your pelvis up to the side wall. And if you get wobbly, you put your left hand right back down on that block. Right? Just be honest with whatever so. Keep flexing out through that left heel to find your way into stability. So for those of you familiar with the bandhas, there's Pada bandha happening in that left foot. Maybe some Mula bandha, some Uddiyana bandha. Right? Those of you who feel supremely balanced, let that left arm go long and spread your wings and tickle the moon once again. And if you don't feel supremely balanced, do it in your imagination. Last little bit of really opening up that left hip, opening up the left shoulder to whatever degree you can. And then here's where the rubber hits the road. How gracefully can you slowly lower out, coming out the way you came in. Releasing that left arm to the hip, releasing the left arm to the block, closing your hips back off. And how gently can you bring a bend into your right knee? Feel your way into a lunge. Feel your way back into a lunge. Yes. And then from a lunge, hands to the earth. And take that right leg back into high plank. Well done. Feeling your way into high plank. Just a couple breaths here. Feeling your length and your strength once again. And then exhaling to your dog. Tinker around in your dog. Move in any way your body wants you to. A few rounds of Dirga Swasam, that 3-part breath. And then we prepare for second side. On an exhalation, the right heel comes into the center strike. On an inhalation, the left foot comes forward. Exhale, that left leg straightens. And we begin to test the waters. Like, what is the permission that we have here? What kind of sure-footedness do we have on this side? And do we want the heels to intersect one another? Do we need the front heel to intersect the back arch? What is really honest for your body on second side? And be compassionate, be tender, be sweet, be kind, as you feel your way into an honest foundation for this side. And then activating through your feet, finding the arches of your feet, to find the arches of your legs, to bring that energy from the earth up into your spine. Then you start to really hook that left hip back, 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 back. As you come into your spine, find your up dog. And we feel it from our feet, through our legs, to our spine, and we tinker around with it, and we romance our way into some experience of this shape. No matter how it looks, how does it feel, people? Stay with your felt sense. And then when you're ready, take a bow. Forehead to or towards that left shin. Taking a bow to every step this left leg has ever taken. Perpetually hooking that left hip towards the arch of your right foot, while at the same time floating that left hip. Let it be buoyant, let it be flotacious. Let that left hip socket float up off of the femur to the best of your ability, opening up that pathway of energy. Dirga Swasam. And then taking your deepest bow, utmost gratitude. On an inhalation, we begin to lift our gaze. We begin to take a little bend into the front knee as we pick up the back leg. Beautiful. Point through your back toes and start to feel your way into the front line. The workhorse here is your left foot. So really feeling the strength of your left foot grounding you into Mama Earth, tapping her resources, her strength, her resiliency. And then finding the length out through your right toes, especially the inside strike of your right foot. Feeling that on into the psoas perhaps, tracking it to your spine. Finding as much length as you can from your big toe all the way up to where your leg attaches to your spine at the lower thoracic. Feeling it. And then flexing up through your right heel, starting to claim the length in the back line. Maybe from your upper buttocks tissue, moving out through that right heel. Squaring your toes off with the floor to the best of your ability. And then left hand is on claws or on a block. Check in with balance. How do you feel? Can the right hand come to the hip or to the waist? And you check in with it. And then you just feel. And the purpose of that right hand being there is to assist you in having a felt sense of stacking the hips. So use your imagination. It's a very powerful tool. And then slowly begin to stack those hips. Stacking your right hip on top of your left. Beautiful. Just feeling it, feeling it. And using whatever support you need to along the way. Keep it honest. And then find Hatha Bandha in your back foot. And imagine that your back foot was standing against a wall. And ideally, try not to let that back foot go too far behind you. Let it come straight out of the hip. That's it. Beautiful, Masati. Yeah. And then feel the strength of your left leg. Feel the openness of your pelvis, of your hips. And then if it's there for you, open that right arm skyward. Very much like what we were doing in moon salutations, right? Waving to the moon, palm facing the wall in front of you, if you have the ability to extend that arm up. Last little bit of reaching up to your skyward fingers if you are able, tickling the moon. And then slowly, hand comes back down onto the hip. And then the hip squares off at the floor. Right hand comes onto the block. And we take a gentle bend in that left knee as we work the right leg back. Feeling our way into a lunge. Hands to earth, all 10 toes square with the head of the mat. When everything is squared with the head of the mat and we're safe, we can then bear weight into our plank. Swivel, swivel, swivel the ball edge of the feet back. A last little bit of feeling your length and your strength, family. And then on an exhalation to your dog, coming home. And then from your dog, coming up onto the ball edge of your feet, taking your knees down to the earth and pushing back into the pose of a child. Modify child's pose however your knees need you to do so. Modifications are for heroes. And remember, beloveds, if child's pose doesn't work for any part of your body, you just lay on your back and pull your knees into your chest. Coming back into this gesture of surrender. Bringing in the spirit of humility. Humbly bowing to whatever information the body is offering after experiencing a little bit of asana. And just staying here in child's pose until the breath finds equanimity. Deep breath in, deeper breath out, maybe even sigh it out if you need to. Hands slide up underneath the shoulders, and we push the earth away, chin into the chest, and slowly roll up bone by bone. Just pause at the top, a moment to feel. A moment to heal. And then begin feeling your way into a comfortable seated pose. However that looks, just find a foundation that allows you to sit tall in the saddle, sit tall in the splendor of the integrity of your character. Turning the eyes inward. Offering the ears to the sound of your breath. We will seal our practice with nadi suddhi, with alternate nostril breathing, continuing to cultivate equanimity. So bring your hand in position for your alternate nostril breathing. Perhaps you use your index and your middle finger at the third eye place, or perhaps you tuck them in. Whatever it is your body likes, the thumb flanks the right nostril, and the fourth finger flanks the left. Exhale. Inhale, Dirga Swasam through both nostrils. Exhale, block the right as you exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Exhale, block the left as you exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Block it. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Block it. Exhale through the right. And continue. You exhale, you inhale, you switch. Exhale, inhale, switch. Incorporating Dirga Swasam and Ujjayi the entire time with a soft tongue, a soft jaw, a soft belly, and a warm heart. Your time, stay with the process, and whenever you next notice your body exhaling from the right nostril, release your hands to the lap, your breath to its own accord, and just pause, notice, feel. Begin allowing your body to melt down, to seek the lower feel your way into the comfort of Shavasana. Let your body feel its way into a shape. No mind how it looks. How does it feel? Give as much attention to Shavasana as you have every other posture. Tend to the garden of your being with great love. Claiming the length within, the spaciousness throughout. Roll your head a little bit side to side to make sure the neck is free. You're all seasoned yogis, so just feel your way into the surrender of Shavasana, into the stillness and silence. And I am going to invite you to stay in Shavasana for as long as you can. I'm simply going to bathe you in the traditional closing prayers, and you carry on in Shava pose. And when you must come out and return and take yoga out into your waking life, I invite you, I encourage you to move from the yoga wisdom as you come out of Shavasana and throughout your lives. May there perpetually be this clear-seeing, calm abiding. May there come a time when our practice has nothing to do with a sticky mat. Every breath is yoga. Every movement, every action. It's all yoga. And it's life asana. And the world is one big sticky mat. In the name of love.
Sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
And may the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. May the light of truth overcome all darkness. Victory to that light. Jai Shri Satguru Maharaj Ki Jai. Victory to the light within. May there be peace in our bodies, peace in our minds, peace in our hearts, peace in our homes, and peace on our planet. Namaste.